Hi there. Today I'm going to be answering a big question. A question that is big for those who are both starting off at the beginning of their career, but also for those who are already on the path. That question is, how can we have a successful and fulfilling career as an artist? I'm going to have 3 points of focus through this talk, which will start at the beginning of your day-to-day development. I'll call this a research and development phase. That's how we effectively use our time. I've roughly broken up my day's schedule into my social time, which is about 6 hours, into my sleep time, which likewise is 6 hours, and into my studio time, which is around 12. I include, along with that, gallery visits, crits, anything that sort of adds to my learning. I want to know how to effectively use this time and to turn it into something beneficial. From that phase, I'm going to look at the growth and development phase, which is how to broaden your identity basis, how to understand your audience and to know how to target those and what to do to target them. There's an understanding that the art world is a very large entity, yet in fact we're very small in the large scheme of things, so we're going to look at how to get through to everyone else. Finally, I'm going to be looking at the reflection and development phase, the phase which makes sure your work is appreciated. You've established how to work effectively, you've established who you're working effectively for, and this phase is to continue on that linear trajectory that you will hopefully have found yourself on through these points. So to begin with the research and development phase, many liken the studio work to that of a laboratory. We have here on the right Jeff Koons in his studio, who of course runs a very profitable and efficient work space. It's important to understand and to know that your time should be used methodically and with the goal in sight. Underneath, I've placed a picture of a factory setting, perhaps a bit of a drastic likeness, perhaps a bit extreme to liken the two. I believe you need that rigorous approach to your work in order to achieve a greater goal. In the artist community, there is that feeling that people approach it with that I make whatever I want to make, whenever I want to make it approach. Henry Miller, the novelist and amateur painter, once said that paint as you like and die happy. However, that may explain why he was only ever considered as an amateur painter, not a painter in his own right. So I've earmarked here 3 points on how to channel that creativity to maximise my value. And I think we need to look at how you can use your studio time to really get to the bottom of the work that you want to make. So to begin with, you have to understand what enthralls you, what interests you. Is it a form, a context, a muse, a medium or a movement, education, the afterlife, society, environment, a shift in context or shift of context, transcendental, intangible. What enthralls you? And so when you've begun to understand that, you have to look at your work in a broader context and understand, is this a unique new slant? Has it been done before? And of course, it's very difficult to find something unique. And so it's all about elevating yourself to that foreground in response to the others around you. How to make yourself look new and exciting in contrast with fellow artists who inhabit the same field. And finally, is this right, what you're doing? Is it a suitable choice? You need to understand this, you need to know this. So you can really get to the bottom of the subject that you've chosen to look at, however intangible it may be. Everyone really loves an expert. When people know that you're an expert in your field, they're willing to make an investment in that and I'm willing to support you in the direction that you've embarked on. So I've looked at the research and development phase. And so you've pinpointed what you're interested in, what sort of area you think is the most lucrative in that respect. And so from there, we're gonna see how you can take that further in the growth and development stage. Now, there's two factions here. There's the art world of the gallerist, of the collector, of the assessor, of the dealer. And then, of course, there's everybody else. And everyone else makes up a huge entity. And I think many artists get obsessed by the fact that they're making work for the art world, and very naively ignore the everyone else, which could be hugely beneficial in creating a successful and fulfilling environment. So I'm going to look first at the gallery and the partnership that the artist and the gallerist share. So I've made a brief list here of what galleries really want. Well, galleries really want to enhance this relationship, this joint venture, to make it mutually beneficial for everyone. So the first point is reliability. They want to know that you're not going to be rushing off to Ibiza at the drop of a hat. They want to know, in fact, that you've got a clear game plan. You know where your work is going to be going over the coming years, and that you've got a clear vision about how that's gonna settle in. They want to know that you can persevere with this. They don't want someone who's gonna give up, because it's a difficult world there, and they need to know that the person that they're working with can roll with the punches. So although we shouldn't really make mistakes, there has to be a willingness to learn from those mistakes. They have to work hard. They have to roll with the punches, and they have to know that the mistakes that they make, although they shouldn't happen, that something good perhaps can come out of them. With the actual gallerist, there needs to be sort of a harmonious relationship there. It perhaps sounds a bit humorous, but can we have dinner together? Can we talk about things outside of the gallery? Can we talk about sport or the weather, or important things between two people? And I think key to the partnership between the gallerist and the artist, so the artist can understand the huge amount of effort that the dealer puts in to their work, the wall space, the money, the time that a dealer puts in to really working for that artist. So we looked at the partnership there. However, I think really to get into a place where you're successful and fulfilled, I think you really need to look at the everyday. So I've got this sort of market research section, knowing your market. You have to understand that everyone loves art. It's not just artists who love art, or gallerists. It's the postman or the shop assistant. Everyone appreciates art. But in order to get through to these people, you have to speak in an everyday language. Not everyone is reared on this PhD speak that affects the art world. You have to answer these questions that they come at you with respect. They may throw those sort of relevant questions about, why have you used pink in there? Why is that circle there? What's the weight of this? How was it made? I mean, these are things that are fairly irrelevant to your day-to-day practice. However, you have to understand that in the same way you perhaps will ask a foolish question to a doctor about an artery, in the same way a doctor may ask you a foolish question about art. The more people know about the work that they're looking at, the more they're willing to buy. if you send an information pack, so to speak, with your work, with all the statistics and the time and the details, people will begin to understand it, and people like what they can understand. And however crude this sounds, buying work should be easy as buying milk. The information should be on the front cover. You shouldn't be out there to trick the buyer. Finally, we're going to be looking at the reflection and development phase. Now, this is really knowing where you can take your art from this phase. So from the previous two, you've looked at how beneficial your studio time is. You've looked at how you can the different markets you can access. So now it's time to ensure that that path that you've set yourself on is both positive and lucrative. This is 3 more points that I'm just going to lay out in order to give you that trajectory. Firstly, you have to deepen your work. It's always beneficial to contextualize it, to know how it fits into the artists around you, to write an artist statement, to inform those about what the art is that you're making, to make everything as clear as possible and in relation to everything as possible. You should inform those, authenticate it, always sign your work. I'll give you the scenario. If one were to pass on your painting from generation to generation, a few hundred years from now, people may not know who you are. So it's very important to sign it so that they're able to understand the worth of the painting from the signature. Finally, to enhance your work, similar to sort of the contextualizing, it's always important to document it, to write down the size, the date that it was made, the materials that were used, perhaps the place where it was made, the influence around it. As I've said before, the more information, the better. So that's just 3 things: to deepen, inform, and enhance. And that will add to the value of your work. Finally, it's always key in this dog-eat-dog world to keep an eye on the market around you. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Winifred Herbstein, and I hope you enjoy your career as a successful and fulfilled artist. Thank you.